Now before we dive into this video, I want to make one thing clear. My channel is about history, and is an experiment how good AI can research it. Now current events are a part of history, so if something catches my eye, I cover it. Also, normally all videos except the ones in my podcast are made by AI. My rule is not to edit and see how AI does without human aid. Now this video is an exception. I am writing the introduction and the final notes all without AI. Why? Because well, my channel is normally not political, but recent events just caught my attention. Before the Super Bowl, I saw Donald Trump renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Then I saw an interview after Elon Musk got on the cover of Time magazine. And the behavior raised questions. Now I do not work in the medical field, but I use AI for research, so I figured, why don't I ask AI? I tried to keep the prompt as neutral as possible, but since Donald Trump raised the issue for me, I included his name in the prompt. Also, besides me usual using chat, for this video I used Deepseek because it seems to be better in doing deep factual research. It is kinda in the name, right? So here is what I asked. Write an easy, narcissism and dementia cross-reference with Donald Trump. I did not add any bias or anything like that, again not a political channel. Now this might be a video I will regret because it is a loaded topic. Also, YouTube prefers easygoing entertaining videos. So if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. Also let me know what you think in the comments below. Now here is what Deepseek came up with. Narcissism and dementia, a cross-reference with Donald Trump. The intersection of narcissism and dementia has long been a topic of interest in psychology, particularly when examining public figures whose behavior and cognitive abilities are scrutinized under the lens of media and public opinion. Donald Trump, the 45th President of the United States, has frequently been the subject of such discussions, with critics and experts alike drawing connections between his behavior and traits associated with narcissism and, more controversially, dementia. This essay explores the concepts of narcissism and dementia, their potential overlap, and how these traits have been cross-referenced with Donald Trump's public persona and behavior. Understanding narcissism. Narcissism, as defined in psychological terms, is a personality disorder characterized by an inflated sense of self-importance, a deep need for excessive attention and admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. Individuals with narcissistic traits often exhibit grandiosity, a sense of entitlement, and a tendency to manipulate others to maintain their self-image. While narcissism exists on a spectrum, those with narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, display these traits to a degree that significantly impairs their relationships and functioning. Donald Trump's public behavior has frequently been analyzed through the framework of narcissism. His penchant for self-promotion, his frequent use of superlatives to describe his achievements, and his apparent need for constant validation from supporters and media have led many psychologists and commentators to suggest that he exhibits strong narcissistic tendencies. For instance, his tendency to dominate conversations, his sensitivity to criticism, and his habit of claiming credit for successes while deflecting blame for failures are all behaviors consistent with narcissistic traits. Understanding dementia. Dementia, on the other hand, is a broad term used to describe a decline in cognitive function severe enough to interfere with daily life. It is not a specific disease, but rather a group of symptoms associated with memory loss, impaired judgment, and difficulties with language and problem solving. Alzheimer's disease is the most common cause of dementia, but other conditions, such as vascular dementia and Lewy body dementia, can also lead to similar symptoms. The discussion of dementia in relation to Donald Trump has been more contentious and less substantiated. Critics have pointed to instances of verbal slip-ups, repetitive speech patterns, and occasional lapses in coherence as potential signs of cognitive decline. However, these observations are often anecdotal and lack the clinical evidence necessary to make a definitive diagnosis. It is also important to note that occasional memory lapses or verbal mistakes are common, especially under the stress of public speaking or advanced age, and do not necessarily indicate dementia. The overlap between narcissism and dementia. While narcissism and dementia are distinct conditions, there can be some overlap in their presentation, particularly in older adults. For example, individuals with narcissistic traits may become more irritable or defensive as they age, especially if they perceive a loss of control or status. Similarly, early stages of dementia can sometimes manifest as changes in personality, including increased egocentricity or difficulty empathizing with others. However, these overlaps are not well defined, and diagnosing either condition requires a comprehensive evaluation by a qualified mental health professional. In the case of Donald Trump, some observers have speculated that his behavior could reflect a combination of lifelong narcissistic traits and age-related cognitive changes. For instance, his tendency to repeat stories or phrases, his sometimes disjointed speech, and his apparent difficulty staying on topic have been cited as potential indicators of cognitive decline. However, these behaviors could also be attributed to stress, fatigue, or his communication style, which has always been characterized by a degree of informality and hyperbole. The role of public perception. Public perception plays a significant role in how narcissism and dementia are discussed in relation to Donald Trump. His polarizing personality and unconventional approach to politics have made him a lightning rod for criticism, with opponents often using psychological terminology to critique his behavior. This has led to a blurring of the lines between clinical analysis and political rhetoric, making it difficult to separate legitimate concerns from partisan attacks. Moreover, the media's focus on Trump's behavior has amplified these discussions, often framing his actions in terms of psychological pathology. While this can serve to highlight potential issues, it also risks oversimplifying complex psychological conditions and reducing them to political talking points. It is crucial to approach such discussions with caution, recognizing the limitations of armchair diagnoses and the importance of relying on evidence-based assessments. Conclusion: the cross-referencing of narcissism and dementia with Donald Trump's behavior highlights the challenges of applying psychological concepts to public figures. While there is evidence to suggest that Trump exhibits narcissistic traits, the discussion of dementia remains speculative and lacks clinical substantiation. Both narcissism and dementia are complex conditions that require careful evaluation, and their application to Trump's behavior should be approached with skepticism and an understanding of the broader context. Ultimately, the intersection of psychology and politics is a fraught terrain, where the lines between analysis and opinion can easily blur. As we continue to examine the behavior of public figures, it is essential to prioritize nuance, evidence, and a recognition of the limitations of our understanding. Only then can we engage in meaningful discussions about the psychological dimensions of leadership and their implications for society. So that is what Deepseek came up with. I find it factual and neutral. I might ask the AI on X the same question. I think that would be a nice comparison, but it depends on how good this video is doing. What do you think? Leave a comment and let me know. Also, I want to mention I am sorry for the bad voice and the watermark at the end. I am out of AI credits. I set myself a rule that I will not spend more than $100 plus what I earn with PayPal on AI. So I am over budget. AI is not free and my $100 limit resets next week. That was it. Thank you for watching. Please help a small channel grow. Like and subscribe. If you have any comments, I love to read them. And if you liked it enough to help me with AI generation, my PayPal link is hiding under links in the channel description. Have a wonderful day.